Were you mulling over any potential changes, or were you quite set in your mind that you'd send the same side out?
Yeah, no, the team selection was always going to be the same as what we put out there last week. We've got a couple of blokes here with some bumps and bruises, so we had to have some coverage there, but we got through training okay today.
How much improvement, to your mind, is needed from last week?
Yeah, look, we need to. You just can't throw it away, but we need to put a line through that game because that hasn't been. If we look at 9 games, that hasn't been us consistently. That was I'm putting that down. That's a one-off, and it won't happen again. But yeah, we're never in the contest right from the start. Didn't give ourselves a chance.
And the
Started with
lack.
no.
Sorry, Brad.
That's right. No, I just said we started with no intent, and we were never going to be able to claw that back.
And the lack of physicality will probably be a big concern to you. Did it take you by surprise in that respect?
Yeah, like I said, I feel like we've spoke about it a few times. Like after the game, and um, there was no physicality, so at all. The boys were quite embarrassed about it, and there's only one way we can deal with it, and it's what we do tomorrow. So I'll be expecting that physicality shouldn't be a problem tomorrow.
Is there any reason why that happens? And has history given you any reason as to why that sort of happens in any game?
No, I've got no idea. I'd love to know. I'm sure every coach would love to know too. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is.
So, I mean, there'll be quite a few guys wanting to aim up on Friday. Just tell us the significance of the game. Obviously, you need to win, but you're relying on results elsewhere.
Yeah, well, we've discussed it today that we're not um, worrying about finals. We're worrying about making sure that the team that we've been trying to be over the last 9 games, we did that for 8 weeks. Didn't get every result go our way, but we'd set some standards and expectations of performance, and we need to make sure we finish the season that way. And then what happens from there, we'll just have to deal with. If we get fortunate, great. If we don't, but we're certainly not finishing our last game without being the team that we need to be for moving forward.
You're obviously dependent on a couple of other fixtures. Will you check on the Leeds Saints scoreline at half time in your game on Friday or not?
No, and I don't want anyone to tell me. I have no interest. I just want to make sure, like I said, we've been really clear about it this week. We've done too much good work to undo it, and we've got clear expectation on how we want to finish the season.
What's your assessment of Hull Kingston Rovers? Then I think you played and lost to them in your first game in charge at Headingley.
Yeah, look, they're a good team. They make you play every set out. They work really well together as a unit. Like as a team. Everyone knowing their jobs 1 to 17. They'll drag you to the last tackle, and often that's when they come up with their points. So we're going to have to make sure that we've got full concentration for full sets of 6.
Willie Peters has done a phenomenal job, hasn't he, with them? Have you got any history with him from the NRL?
No, I've Willie and met him a couple of times, and had a little bit piece, but yeah, he's done a really good job, and you can see that he's put some systems in place there that they all know what their job is, and they have accountability to each other.
And if Leeds Rhinos, Brad, could reach the playoffs from this position, how big an achievement would that be?
Well, the only thing I'm worried about at the moment, the achievement, is that we finished the year strong, and like I said, where that takes us, we'll worry about that. But we've got to be clear focused on what's important, and it's about our performance and having a really strong performance.
Unfortunately, if it does end on Friday, how will you reflect on your first, what would be 10 games in charge of the club?
I've really enjoyed it, but I'm going to leave the reflection until after the game and see what we get tomorrow. But I've really enjoyed it, to the point where I feel like that I can make a difference here moving into next year. But that's for discussion after the game.
I know you're very much concentrating on yourselves, but what are your thoughts on Catalan playing the following day? Because there's a scenario where they could know exactly how many points they need.
Yeah, look, and I'm aware of what all the different scenarios are, but as I've been, talking now and we've talked amongst as a group, like we have no control on worrying or trying to predict or won't help us. The only thing that we need to worry about is, we've got 80 minutes tomorrow to show that we are a team that's made progress, and then from there, we'll have to wait and see. But yes, I'm certainly aware of what the week. It's a big weekend ahead. I just hope that we make sure we do our job tomorrow night, which is a strong performance.
There's some people who say the integrity of the competition is under question with Catalan playing later than yourselves. Can you see why they might think that?
Oh, yeah, I hadn't heard that. No, I don't know why. It's just a draw comes out, you get the draw, you play when you're told to play. Like, yeah, I'm not sure about that one, mate.
Okay. Given Lee's overall form during the run-in and Hull's tendency to leak points, how do you rate your chances going into the last round?
Well, I'm looking for a bit of that bounce back factor and a strong performance and a really good start. We've been really good with our starts in terms of coming with the physicality and the effort, and we haven't always nailed down the footy part of it, but because of our start and our mentality and attitude towards it, it's given us opportunities to still be in the hunt and be in those games. So that's the bit where we have to, if we want to be in the contest and we want to have a chance at the 80th minute, we need to start well. We need to come with the right attitude. No, we need to make sure we get off the bus and we've packed our mouth guards and we're ready to go.
Like you've touched on, I guess if it is the end of the season tomorrow, you need to go out swinging, don't you?
Yeah, and that's the only thing that matters to us right now. Doesn't mean we don't care about playing finals, but the only thing that matters right now is that we finish on our terms, and then from there, that's out of our hands.
Can you give us any update on recruitment? If you've got anybody lined up, if anybody's going to be announced soon?
No, not that. There's been no massive movement. Like I said, I've left that with Bleepy, and he's certainly got plenty of options. We're just making sure that we know exactly what direction we want to go in terms of how much space we might have in the cap and not rush into anything. But we're certainly looking to strengthen the roster. Yeah.
Do you expect the squad to be very different when you play your first game next year?
I don't know about very different, but it'll be different.
And it's the is the middle of the field, sort of front row, the area that you're most concerned about, you most want to strengthen?
I'm not concerned about anything. It's just we want to strengthen. Wouldn't mind, strengthening in that area, and also maybe a couple of outside backs. So it's just about adding a bit more depth and having everyone competing for spots.
Obviously, Reese is moving on. He's your main goal kicker. Are you looking to recruit a goal kicker, or do you think you can cover that from the existing squad?
Well, we've got a few guys that are happy to try their hand at that in the pre-season and do some practice, but also if we look to strengthen in the outside, in the backs areas, if someone can goal kick, that'll certainly help.
Good, thank you. I just wanted to ask you about the sort of youth side of your squad. Obviously, with Rowan in charge and you in charge, they've had a lot of opportunity given to them this year. That can only benefit you and them going into 2025, can't it?
Yeah, well, the only way young guys get experience is by exposure, and we can train them as much as we like. We can try and prepare them as much as we like, but until they actually get out there and get a feel for it themselves, and like even 2-3 games is not enough. They need like 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row to get used to that back-to-back, being able to get themselves up and get themselves ready, and they start to feel like there's a bit more time and space than they thought, or there's not as much time and space they thought in this area. It only comes with the experience, and the only way they get it is by playing and getting a few things right and getting a few things wrong. But we've had a few guys now that have gained some valuable experience, and they'll know exactly what they need to do in the pre-season with some help from the coaches of what they need to be working on to be ready, next year now that they've had a bit of a taste.
How vital are they going to be for you next year? How big a part do you foresee them playing in your squad?
Who's that, mate? Sorry.
Just the youth in general. How much are you going to rely on them next year?
Well, come the start of the year, everyone's on equal playing ground, and it'll come off the back of training and who's performing well at training, and then throughout the trial period. And so I don't really have a policy that I need so many old guys or young guys in there. I just whoever's going to be best for us to help us win round 1 to 17, that sort of be. And if they're 1 gamers or 100 gamers or 200 gamers, doesn't matter to me. I'll just be picking the guys that they've showed that they want to be in the team, and team generally picks itself. We need to put the players that are performing at their best or they're ready to try and win.
Thanks, Rob.
Sure, those products will be pushing for some spots.